Hello and welcome to my last video on Fury of Dracula. Probably. I may make more videos on Fury of Dracula, but I want you guys to just sort of assume that this is my last one because I don't want people to be disappointed that I'm no longer making Fury of Dracula content. There's a few reasons why I'm gonna be making fewer/no videos. Part of it is that other people are making Fury of Dracula videos, and the biggest reason why I made videos in the first place is because no one else was doing it. The other reason is that people were really bad at the game. And people have gotten a lot better at the game and are making their own videos. And I'm not saying that that means that I think that I'm not needed or not necessary anymore. I'm sure... Oh, I was thinking about starting in 25 there. It's a good thing I dodged that. I'm not saying that I don't need... that I don't think I'm needed or I don't think people like my videos. I'm sure people will watch them. I get whole hundreds of views when I... oh, yeah, I named the thing. You'll have to watch the video to see. But I know people like my videos and have learned from them and benefited from them, and I may make more. I may indeed do that, but I have written a book, and one of the big things that I'm going to be doing over the next while is recording a podcast for that book, and I really just need to focus on that. I might, while I have time, make a video or two, and I will still play Fury of Dracula. It's still one of my favorite games. But I really need to be putting all of my recording efforts into getting that book into being a podcast. I won't regale you with it too much, because you don't really care about reading books, you care about playing Fury of Dracula. But if you care, it's a sci-fi retelling of Pilgrim's Progress with robots and space marines and talking platypuses. And if you're into that kind of thing, then I'll probably do a video advertising it. But I don't want to bait and switch you guys too much, so I won't really talk about that too much here. I think I've basically taught everybody everything that I can think of. I thought about doing like a basic combat tutorial where I actually just go through the basic rules, but that doesn't really seem necessary to me. Do I really need to just read a rule book to someone? I don't know. I don't know if that needs to be done. But let's see. I don't have a... Yeah, let's do this. Oh, no. And there are other... It's not that I ran out of ideas for videos. Obviously, I can do these things. And if I get, like, a really cool idea in the future, or if there's some patch that comes out, or they do something crazy, like add a bunch of new characters or something, I'm sure I'll make videos on that. But don't expect it. I'm going to be busy. I'm not going to be really making too... I was going to do that anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to give away all the stuff of my film. I called the game last video, and so he's probably worried. And also, when the tournament comes out, if we do the tournament, I'm sure I'll make a lot of videos on that. For those of you who don't know, there is talk of doing a Fury of Dracula tournament, which I'm really excited about. Oh my goodness. Oh, I would love to take part in a tournament. I've been wanting to get enough interest in this game that we could do a tournament. So if that happens, oh yeah, I would love. And oh my man, if Nomad were to like sponsor me to comment, or heck, even to just allow me to do commentary on videos, oh my goodness, I would love to do that. I would love to make videos on that, to comment, or if you need me to play with you, Nomad, for any of your live streams, I would love to do that. And I would love to do videos on that. And if anyone has any video ideas, still send them my way. I might make them. But I'm not a big believer in the idea that YouTube channels, or any sort of channel or group, should go on forever. I don't think in real life you have an infinite number of things to say. I think eventually you run out of things to say, and when that happens, you need to stop talking. And I may have a few more things to say, but the idea that I need to come out with a video every week, I think it would result in me getting repetitive, and I think people should be fine with, okay, this story has come to its end. I'm a big fan of endings. I think you can't really analyze something until you are able to see the whole thing. And when it comes to something that is serialized and continuing, once it ends, then you know, then you see the whole thing. And I think that's true for YouTube series to an extent, which isn't to say that I have something against YouTube channels that go on forever. They're better men and better women than I am. If I come up with new ideas, I'll make new stuff, but yeah, and I wanted to do an actual video saying this, because one thing I hate is when a channel obviously runs out of ideas or gets too busy, and then they just stop, and they don't really communicate with the audience. So I really did want to do a video being like, hey guys, I'm not really going to do videos anymore. And yeah, it's sad, and oh my gosh, I just got devilish power. That's nice. Aw, what a present for my last video. Thanks. Devilish power isn't that great, but it would be... yeah, there we go. It would be awesome to be able to use devilish power, to cancel a consecrated ground. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I think someone has done it to me once. But it's a really great, like, haha, I'm catching you with consecrated ground, and then you go, haha, no, with devilish power. I think someone has done that to me once. It is, yeah, it's fun to do. But yeah, I think if you're planning on not making videos anymore, you should tell the audience, and then if you're wanting to start doing it regularly again, then you tell the audience. I like communication in that. So, the risk I took was calculated. Oh, that's true. He did get newspaper reports. We will see. But I respect a calculated risk. And that's true. I think people maybe avoid night supplies a little too much. And honestly, devilish power, it's not that great. I mean, it's good, but it's not that bad. I drew that day. Yeah, let's see. How many drag cards did he draw? Yeah, he drew 5. So that's, what, 20? Although if you count the one on the top, that's 6 out of 56. Meaning it's 19 out of 56 chance of drawing a Dracula card. Yeah. I can understand that. But yeah, if you have any ideas for videos that you want me to do, and I may even do a video on some other game. My videos on other games don't do well. But I might, if a game comes out that I really like, that's digitized, a digital board game, I might do something on that. I was considering getting into Nemesis, which is a game I haven't been able to play, and then came out because of... and then was digitized. I wasn't able to play it because it was way too expensive, and then they digitized it, and it's like, oh, I might get into that. But I really don't want to make videos on games that I'm not good at, because those already exist. There's a million people who do first impressions or who play a game badly, and it's fine if you like that. I really don't like making that kind of content, and I really don't like watching that kind of content. I know that a lot of people do, but if I'm gonna watch, if I want to play a game badly, I'll just play it myself. If I want to watch somebody else play a game, I want to do it because I'm gonna get good insight or good understanding or learn something new. And if I can't do that, let's see, what do I want to throw down here? I guess I could throw down a bats. No, not in a linear location. Maybe a mob? Actually, I'm going to throw down rats here. Yeah. Just to cycle it. Yeah. Since it's, because it's one of these... Oh, wait, no, I mean it's a vampire. Yeah. And I kind of want to have him burn his stakes on the vampires, because I really don't want the stakes to be used on actual fighty vampires. But yeah, and that's... But what I was saying is that... Oh, that's clever. I really don't want to make videos on games I'm not good at. Or at least on games where I'm not better than average, or where I can't give a lot of good commentary. And that really limits the kind of things I can make videos on. I mean, the number of games that I'm good at is very, very low. I mean, there's a lot of games I like that I would like to do videos on. I would love to do videos on Star Wars Rebellion, but one, there isn't really a digital version of that, and two, while I have played Star Wars Rebellion a ton, I am not... Like, I've seen some people who do really good content on it, and you should look for that. Oh man, I forget the name. I should probably post a link to it. But there's this guy who does Star Wars Rebellion videos, and oh my gosh, he is so much better than me. He's just like a standard deviation, just higher than me. And it's like, yeah, let that guy do the videos. He's just better than the game. And unless I just really haven't played the game enough to really do proper feedback on it. And so, yeah, let him do it. And if no one were making videos on Star Wars Rebellion, maybe I would want to do it, and also I would want to digitize it. This is the perfect time to go to sea, by the way. Clearly committed to this. And so, yeah, that's what I shall do. But, yeah, I do play a lot of board games, but I wouldn't really call myself an expert in very many of them. I actually will ambush with this, because here, I'll use this, hit him, and then if he doesn't kill it, he has to search to kill the thing again. Oh, he revealed the rifle. Ugh, rats are so bad! Ugh. Yeah, if he hadn't have discarded it, then when he had to search to kill the vampire, he would got hit by the rats again. Man, rats really should only be discardable by dogs. That would make it actually see... Like, it would have more of a place in the game. And dogs would have more of a place in the game at that point, which I think would be good. But, yeah, that's me. Yeah, the number of games that I would feel qualified of making videos on, of like, I am really good at this game, pretty low. Pretty low. The only reason I do Xenoshift and the Captain is Dead is that I have played those games to just, like, a rather absurd amount, because they're solo games that I can play on my phone. And solo games in general, you can puzzle out to be pretty good. Like, maybe I could make pretty good Pandemic videos, but Pandemic's a pretty easy game anyway, so I don't really feel a need to make guides on that. And so yeah, competitive games, and when I first got into Fury of Dracula, I didn't really consider myself like an expert Fury of Dracula player. The whole horse economy thing is a thing that I sort of discovered and thought was just like a theory of like, oh, maybe this might be good in some circumstances. And now it's the main meta that everyone uses. I sort of discovered that by accident, not because I'm really smart. And it was my brother and I who worked on discovering that. I feel a little bad that it's the main meta, because like there was a meta before Horse Economy where movement was handled in different ways and you didn't focus entirely on horses. And you went more of a have an individual hunter be stronger and don't really go for horses strategy. Is Horse Economy better? Yes, I think so, but I don't feel like people should be married to that. There's advantages to not going for a horse. It's more of a second edition style where you try to win with a bunch of one-on-ones, and that is easier to do when you aren't going heavy into horses. But I wanted to share a new strategy, and now it's the main meta, and that's fine. I guess. It makes me feel like what have I created here that... Because the meta has shifted way too much in one focus, and I am not a big fan of metas that are like, you only play this way, this is the only way to play. And I don't think Horse Economy is the only way to play. I like it, because I like the reliability of it. Although even then, it's not necessarily that reliable in some regards, because you're still rolling to get a draw. But it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn here, and I really don't want to be. I can have a tendency to brag or sound like I'm bragging, and I really don't think that's healthy. Oh, do I go to sea here? Yeah, land locations I think are important. I'll do this. I could go to Zurich. That could be fun. Ooh, I could go to Milan. That could be fun too. Oh, but that'd be such a risk. Oh man, it's such a... No, I'm gonna go 48. I'll play it safe. Yeah. Or play it safer, I should say. We'll throw down something that can mature. I think, let's do some soil. Promote Naples to a lair. Yeah, I'll promote it to a lair. I have some trash encounters I can throw down there, like those doggos. Place rumor token. I will not. And we're good. And I will save Devilish Power for like a Rufus Smith, or maybe a Sister Agatha. Or of course to save myself from Consecrated Ground. But yeah, and so my point is, when I first got into Fury of Dracula, I wasn't super good at it, and playing it a lot, I did get a bit better, and I was better than the average, but that was because new players weren't very good, because it's a complicated game. In terms of being better than, say, like the guys on Board Game Geek, I would say certainly not. Board Game Geek was really a lot better at the game than me. But over time, I got pretty good. Ooh, okay, 2 weapons. To the extent that I'm really excited about this tournament. I think I might be a really good player and may get towards the top, or maybe not. My Dracula plays really bad. I'm pretty bad at Dracula in this game, and a lot of that is because I haven't played Dracula a lot. To really master a board game, you really need to play it like a really good one like this. You really need to play it like 100 or 200 times. Like you need to memorize all possible iterations of cards. And then, once you have that memorized, you need to play like 50 games. And it takes a long time to memorize all iterations, depending on the game. And then once you have that memorized, you really need to be able to like, okay, now that I have all information in my head and I have a good grasp on all iterations, now I need to play the game a lot with that knowledge. And that's when you, like, start being good. RV. What? RV? I'm not sure what he means. I haven't misclicked. At least I don't think I have. On the reveal? No, it was not. No. It was a hideout. So, okay. Yep, that's a good use of that card. So now I think I go to 54 to mess with them? Not a misclick. Oh! Oh, someone else was asking. Misclick? Not a misclick. Nah, that was a decent enough time to play Nude Vigor. And yeah, it is. Because to limit, to help find locations. Because I was pretty obfuscated at that point. Okay, she becomes undelayed. Let's move. Yeah, I feel like this. This seems dumb, but I don't think it is as dumb as it might seem. I think Bats here is actually pretty good, so I will do that. So this basically negates the downside of it. Especially since it means Mina moves and uses Hypno. Yeah, that's yeah, I'd say it was a pretty good play. Uh-oh. Sense of emergency could be problematic. Ooh, okay, that's a little scary. Not gonna lie, that is a little scary. Do I want to go to 4? I really don't want to. I really don't want to go to 4. No, that would totally lock me in. Ah, come on, man. Okay, I gotta use bats here. Oh, feels bad. Feels bad, man. Yep, that's how it goes, man. I am not... I keep falling into the mistake that Draculas always make. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be tricky. No, like, don't be tricky. Just move far away. Like, 54 was obviously a path into Iberia, so the chances of them getting 54 are pretty high, or going there. Now, I have a decent chance of escaping his bat here. It's not a great chance, but it's a decent chance, and I really do want to escape his bat here. Let's see. Yeah, this could be the end for me. And I wanted to play as Dracula because I wanted to talk a lot, and if I'm playing as hunters, I can't focus on talking about not doing very many more videos. Do I risk the Fangs on a, like, Heavenly Host that I think Van Helsing has? That seems like such a risk. It's like such a risk. But I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it on Seward, because Seward, I think, has sat around longer. Yeah, I'll try this. This might be really dumb. We'll see. Okay, alright, that's fine. So we know that he has a rifle. Okay, so basically that just nets 2 damage, is all that does. Okay. Punch. Interesting. Why would he open with a punch? He might have bad items. Now, one of Seward's items is a horse. I know that. They would have... Either of them, I think, would have opened with knives. So neither of them... I'm going to go under the assumption that neither of them have knives. I'm going to mesmerize Van Helsing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think I might... Yeah, I'll mesmerize Van Helsing. I need to just not take damage. I really can't afford to take damage this early. So I need to do whatever I can to reduce damage. Seems like a good play. Okay, alright. That's good. Alright, so pistol's gone. Ah. Heavenly Host. Yeah, so that was really good play. No way I was going to use Fangs there. But he's pretty limited now. I think I will do a strength, right? Because they're both probably going to use rifle. Although not Van Helsing, I think. Looks like I don't have a strength. So I will... Well, I could Fang Van Helsing. Yeah, I like that play. Yeah, let's try this. This could kill me because he could actually have the secret knife. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, that's really well done. Okay, now we escape his bat against... Unless I'm freaking dead. Wow. Yeah, looks like I'm dead. Man, I am not good at Dracula. But, again, my primary thing was as a guide for the hunters. So, you know, that's what I wanted to make. I wish I could be as good enough to, and that's one of the reasons I don't make more Dracula videos, because I'm not really that good at Dracula. I mean, I'm okay. I have a general idea of the general strategy. But I really wish somebody who was really good at playing Dracula would make Dracula videos. But I'm glad that other people are making videos, and I might make a video or two. And I am glad that in the end the hunters have won here. I really am happy that hunters got better at the game, and that now people see hunters as more powerful. Not because I want one side to be more powerful than the other. In 2nd edition, people thought hunters were more powerful than Dracula, so I primarily played Dracula. I just like that people are getting better at the game, because I think the main value from playing games is the personal development that will happen from getting better at something. Even if that's something mundane, and something that's seemingly unimportant or really not a big deal. Just the process of improving yourself at a small skill, I think is really good psychologically. And it's good, not only does it actually improve some sort of skill, and in this game there's actually a lot of very good skills that are involved, not just memory or analysis, but also the deductive elements are really good. And the systems analysis is really good, of being able to look at a system and being able to know, oh, what are all of these different components, and how can they be combined in different ways to give me success. I think all of that is really actually, no, not right now. I think all of that is really actually quite good. I'm going to talk for a little while here, because I don't want people who look at the length of the video to know that I lose as Dracula. I think that when you're getting better as a person, even in a very small way, I think there's a lot of value from games in that regard. So I'm really happy to see people get better as the hunters, because a lot of people who play this game, and games in general, will play this game, lose a ton as the hunters, and be like, this game is imbalanced. This game is broken. There's something that is beyond my control that is making me lose. People do that all the time. It's why tier lists are a thing. It's why people just love talking about, oh, is this person overpowered or underpowered? I think it's a huge insult to a game to say that it's imbalanced, or to say that somebody's underpowered or overpowered. You may be correct. You may be correct that a faction is overpowered or underpowered, and it may be the case that Fury of Dracula Digital Edition, Dracula is overpowered or underpowered, or the hunters are overpowered or underpowered. That may be true, but it's still, I'm not sure even what I think, but whether it's true or not, you really need to understand how much of an insult it is to put that on the game, because you're basically saying it's the game that's broken and not me. And that's a really kind of defeatist and selfish way of looking at something. It's basically saying, I shouldn't improve myself. I shouldn't go through the process that games are supposed to make me go through, where I get better at something. No, the problem is with the game. The problem is with the character. The problem is with the situations beyond my control. And that's one thing that I think Fury of Dracula really does a good job teaching. And one of the titles of this video was going to be my final lesson. Because everyone's basically learned everything I can teach them about Fury of Dracula. But the main lesson I want to teach you is not really something about the game, but something about games in general. And about non-randomized games and semi-deterministic games like what Fury of Dracula is. That what you need to do when you look at this game is realize that victory is within your control. To realize that it's not random. You aren't a victim of your circumstances. You're not a victim of the cards that you draw or the tickets that you make. And a perfect example of that is horse economy. For most of the lifetime of this game, people would see horses as this completely random thing. Where it's like, well, maybe they give you a ticket and maybe they don't. And maybe you move 2 spaces and it's completely unreliable, and it's much better to just have a thing that does reliable damage or reliable benefit. There is a random element to horses, but okay, I'm going to be bragging here a little bit, but when I looked at it, I looked and thought, how can I make this work? What is this system? What is the thing that I can do, the thing that is within my control to solve this problem of horses not working? And so I just looked at it and it was like, oh, there's 8 tickets that aren't horse tickets, and there's 8 slots to hold on to tickets. Is it worth the sacrifice of having bad tickets to have reliable 2 moves? And the answer is, sometimes. It depends on the circumstances. And this game really is about you changing your activity to meet your circumstances in a way that is reliable and that can get you victory. Because while I would like to think that this game is deterministic, there are random elements in it. There are things that are beyond your control. And I think that's one critique that maybe sometimes people have towards the philosophy I'm talking about here, which is that, oh, but there are things that are beyond your control. You aren't all powerful. There are things that can happen to you that you can't that you can't deal with, or you can't rectify, or that you can't have prepared for. Yes, but your ability to adapt and to rectify things beyond your control and to change yourself as a person is really what it means to be a man or a woman or a person of good virtue and good character. And that, I think, is the final lesson of Fury of Dracula. That even though there's this seemingly super powerful enemy that has all of this stuff in his advantage, you think, if you really pay attention and really do the math and do the work and analyze things, you can overcome the worst luck. And you can really get victory. And make it so much that losing because of luck becomes this anomaly that basically never happens. And that's true in the combat, and it's true in the movement, and it's true in the deduction. It's especially true in the deduction. There's no reason you should ever be wrong on the deduction, but sometimes you are. And because even after playing hundreds of games, sometimes you still mess up, it really shows that there's still always places that you can learn, and always places that you can improve. And that's why I keep coming back to this game, why I keep playing it, and why I like it so much, is that this is a game that takes a long time to master. And because of that, I think it's something that you can get a lot of value out of. Things like chess are similar, in that there's a lot of value you can get out of it in just the practice of going through and getting really good at something. Which in a sense means I should keep making videos, because I can still get better, and other people can still get better. And I could, but I really should focus on my podcast, and my ability to teach is not always there. A really good board game can last you a lifetime. There's a reason why people play chess for their whole lives. And honestly, I think chess is kind of an old-fashioned game, and there are better games than it. I know I'm sort of rambling here, but I really want to get into your heads this thing that, while it may seem that life is beyond your control, that's quitter talk. It means you haven't discovered the horse economy yet. You haven't discovered the new strategy yet. You haven't figured out yet the tricks that you have. Because life has given you a lot of great advantages, and you just may not know it yet. And yeah, sometimes you may draw a blood transfusion. Or maybe you'll never draw that third horse to save your life. But you can still win with only a horse. You can still win without getting consecrated ground. You can still win at life without getting the perfect combination of stuff. And if you fail at the end, at least you will have done your best. And at least it was because other people were better than you. Or most likely it will be because there was something that you missed. Because there was some advantage you didn't know about. And that's true in this game, and I think it's true in life. And that, I think, is the true lesson of Fury of Dracula. And it's one of the reasons I like the Hunters more than Dracula, because Dracula, actually, it is reasonably random. In combat, especially, because you don't always have access to all of your cards. You get them randomly, whereas the Hunters are able to plan it out ahead of time of, like, this is my plan. I have these cards. I've supplied so many times that Hunters have an insane amount of control over their combat, and that's one of the reasons I like it a lot more. But in the end, each person is making a choice, and there's no die rolls. And other than, like, horses, there's really no dice rolls in this game. that you have to do. You can roll the dice with drawing Dracula events, and in real life you can roll the dice and take risks sometimes. And I really like that the game is like, you can win without taking a single risk. You can also take a risk if you want, but understand the consequences of it. And that's the real brilliance behind the Dracula event system. A lot of people criticize the game as like, well, sometimes Dracula just doesn't get any events. Yeah, but that's because the hunters chose that. It makes it so that the hunters really have to make their bed. They have to sleep in the bed that they make. They have to face the consequences of their own actions. There isn't like a thing that Dracula can just do to just win. I mean, I guess fog, sort of. But that is a thing that you should be able to account for and deal with. Fog won't always... There are things that counter fog and stop fog, and I've already talked about that. But I hope you guys are understanding the allegory I'm going for here and the real message that I'm trying to teach. It may seem cheesy, but like, that's quitter talk. That like the real true things in life, the things that really matter, are going to be really cheesy because honestly, they likely weren't discovered recently, and they were the kind of things that are going to be said a whole lot. And yeah, maybe we need to find new and improved ways of saying them to really get the message across. But I think a board game is an excellent way to do that. So I hope that helps you as a person. I know I'm preaching here, and my videos where I preach are the ones where I get the least amount of views. But get over it, because I think that a game is only valuable if it's doing something good or making you a better person in some small way. I think entertainment for entertainment's sake is actually bad. I don't think that's good. And I think true entertainment comes from when you're learning something, or being exposed to some sort of new idea, or being stretched or improved in some way. I think real entertainment actually comes that way, or when you're being challenged in some way. I think that's actually what makes stuff fun. So saying something should be entertainment for entertainment's sake is kind of like saying something should taste good just to taste good. I think really good stuff that tastes good for a reason. Because there's actually value in food. And like, no matter how good something tastes, if you aren't in need of food, if you aren't hungry and thus aren't benefiting from the food, the best thing in the world isn't going to taste good because you're full. I hope that makes sense. The idea is that I think the true value from entertainment isn't the entertainment, but it's the value. And if there isn't, and there is entertainment that can be fake and can make you think that you're being stretched in some way, or think that you're learning something when in reality you aren't. And that's why I say sometimes that those kinds of things trick you into having fun. Which is something that would be so anathema to some people. They're like, what do you mean? If you're having fun, you're having fun. No, I think you're not really having true fun. I don't think you're really improving or being stretched or improved in some way. I think a lot of modern games aren't actual challenges. They just make you think that it's a challenge. And that's why I like these tough-as-nails kinds of games. Like Fury of Dracula. And I hope you like this game and learn from this and have become a better person, and for hopefully not the last time, but for the last time and for the foreseeable future, I hope you have. Godspeed.